All right, my sis up here encouraged me and inspired me to do my baby daddy story. So here you go. It all started with an Instagram post. Me and my best friend was staying together at the time. I'm 19, she's 20, so we pretty much just fresh out of high school, really. It's like Christmas time. I'm like estranged from my family during this time, so I'm not really rocking with them. It's just me and her just chilling at the crib. We was bored, so we had an Instagram page respectfully together, dancing, jokes, just like it was like a couples page, but we best friends. So one day I saw this dude who posted like this most beautiful weed nug I've ever seen in my life. Like it was purple and green and orange, like it looked amazing. So I DM'd him like, yo, bring that here. Fuck you talking about? And that was day one. Part two. So he comes over, he brings his brothers, and that's fine because it's me and him, my friend and his brother, which turns into a thing. So y'all gotta understand, I'm the same Ray. So when they first come into the house, I run down the rules like, yo, do y'all got any warrants? Do y'all have any weapons? Do y'all have any crazy baby mamas? Like, we need to know before y'all get comfortable. Now, when I said crazy baby mamas, the brother looked at my baby father, or, saying in the future, and was like, so I'm like, yo, what's going on? He was like, yo, my ex is just crazy. She's tapped. I'm like, okay. We smoking, we having a good time, we chilling. Like, it wasn't even no crazy vibes. I had to take a poop. So I DM'd him on Kick, y'all gotta know the time, and was like, yo, you about to leave? Like, when y'all busting that move, you feel me? Part three. Just for those who don't know, a Kick is an app that kind of like was a text-free app. But if somebody signs into your Kick from a different phone, you sign out of Kick on your phone. So when I was like, bro, check your Kick, and he saw he was signed out, he was like, oh no. I was like, oh yeah, look at my phone. So she was going off, oh, you're the type of you're the person my baby daddy's effing with. Like, don't you know I'm pregnant? Whoop-de whoop-de whoop. I'm like, yo, I thought you said this girl was crazy. Like, what is she doing? What's she going on? And then she started calling me out of my name, going crazy. So I was like, all right, sis, whatever. Y'all gotta go, but we'll come back. We'll link up again. Don't worry about it. So a couple weeks later, he comes back over, and he didn't leave for 3 weeks. He was with me every single day. So he's with me every day. We getting it popping every day, literally every day. It didn't matter. She's calling him. His mother's calling him because she's calling the mother. He's like, yo, he was kind of lying to them, but I was right there the whole time. So, like, the baby mother knew I was there and that he was with me, but his mother lived in New York, so she was like, what's really going on? He was like, Ma, she's bugging. The girl starts sending threats to me, like, oh, I'm about to pull up on you. I'm about to air that whole place out. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. So I sent her up my ID. Foolish. But I was like, yo, come on, like, pull up on me. And we was outside waiting. Nobody ever came. But we'll get back to that. So, as I said earlier, his brother pretty much came in the house and was living there too because he's messing with my best friend at this point. So, we was like one big, unhappy, crazy family. So, after 3 weeks of fun, I was like, okay, I really got to get my life together. I decided I was going to go to Job Corps, and I had got called. If you've been to Job Corps, you know that they'll send you the ticket, the bus ticket, everything. They're like, all right, just go. So that's what I did. About 3-4 weeks into my program is when I found out I was pregnant. So I messaged him, was like, yo, this is what it is. He didn't respond to me. When I went to go tell my best friend, she told me how they had pretty much, him and his brother, so my baby father and his brother, had stayed at the house after I left. She went to school. She was going to college at the time. She went to school, came back. Her PS4 and all her video games were gone. They stole everything. So I'm tight. I'm waiting for him to respond about me being pregnant. And then I find out he robbed my best friend, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was just in a crazy position. I just felt fucked up. Okay, so he eventually calls me back. He's like, yo, you got to get an abortion because I don't know what you want me to do. I was like, bro, how I'm going to do that? I'm in a whole nother state. I ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. Like, we just going to have to take this L and deal with it later because I'm not doing that. So I guess during this time, remember, I'm at Job Corps, he had went back to live with his baby mother. So he's arguing with her, venting to her, telling her how I'm pregnant and I'm keeping a baby. She's pregnant, all different types of stuff. At this point, she's about 9 months because she gave birth in March. I gave birth in October. He had told me she was going to give birth in like January, and that wasn't the truth. I think he was just trying to make it seem like further apart than it really was, but nonetheless, while I'm at Job Corps, my mother calls me and is like, yo, you got a court sentence by this blank blank person, the baby mama. So in between the time of me becoming aware that I got called to court and me actually going, a new random Facebook page starts DMing me paragraphs. Girl, I was a homewrecker. I'm all types of stuff, right? And I'm like, who is this? And it got to a point where the person was talking to themselves. Now, if you've been to Job Corps, you know there's no Wi-Fi and they put you in the middle of nowhere. So when I'm in that one spot on the whole campus that gets like service, I'm getting bombarded with all these messages. So I'm like, whatever, sis. Like, see you in court. Just make sure you bring your ass. She never came. And so, of course, they threw the case out because they was like, Rachel, did you say you was going to pop her in her face? And I was like, no. Why would I say that? Okay, so let's say I went to court in February. I got out of Job Corps in May, right? I had my daughter in October. From May to September, I was still getting threats. I was still getting messaged by fake pages and fake accounts. I had no contact with my baby father at all. Like, after he told me to get an abortion, I was like, you're dead. So, like, RIP to your life. I don't even know who you are. But for the life of me, I couldn't understand why this girl was so, like, obsessed with me. Like, I wasn't checking for her or her baby daddy. You feel me? If anything, I was telling people I got pregnant by immaculate conception. So then I had my daughter October 13th, which is the same day as his birthday. So about a month after that, he hits me up and he wants to come back. So we link up. The day we linked actually was his brother, who was messing with my best friend at the time's baby shower, because he was with a whole nother shorty down the street from where my best friend lived. So I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I brought my child there. My mother was with me. His mother was there, and his grandmother, and his brother was there. So I talked to him sidebar and was like, yo, how y'all gonna be down the street from my best friend and y'all did what y'all did to her, like y'all stole all her stuff? And he was like, oh, that wasn't me, that was him, you know what I'm saying, that was my bro, da-da-da. I'm like, but you're not gonna tell your brother not to do that? Like, we was nothing but kind and loving to y'all. Like, why would you do that? That's crazy. Like, he didn't have no excuse. Strike one. But I'm like, all right, for the sake of this your first time meeting your kid, I'll let you hold her. You know what I'm saying? We went to Applebee's and we sat down and was talking. So I gave him probably about like 2-3 weeks to really get his shit together to prove to me that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would allow him to be in our lives. So during that time period, not only does he admit to telling the BM that we were still in contact, which was a complete lie, he was telling me that every time they would argue, he would be like, oh, I'm going back to Ray. Like, Ray never did me like this, whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop, and would egg her on, which then turned to stress in my life. So I was like, oh, you're dumb. So also during this time period, he's like, Rachel, like, why don't we get cuffed? Like, why don't we try to be a couple? Why don't we try to be a thing? Now, during this time period, I was like talking to my ex, and so I wasn't really interested in starting anything new with him. So I was like, bro, just be patient. Like, focus on taking care of your kids. And he pulled up to my crib with hickeys on his neck. So, like, bro, I have nothing for you. I wasn't even going to say nothing, but, like, every about 6 to 8 months, he just randomly likes, like, one picture or one post. And I hope he sees this because he's a bitch-ass nigga and he on TikTok, so